to the National Bowling Stadium for bowling's most exciting team event. Let's meet our finalists. World Team Challenge International Qualifier. Team Korea. Qualifying in Orange County, California, Reb's Pretty Girl International. Qualifying in Indianapolis, Team USA. From the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada, it's the Silver Legacy Women's Division Grand Championship of the Brunswick World Team Challenge. And welcome inside the National Bowling Stadium, 78 lanes in this fabulous facility. And hello again, everybody, and welcome. My name is Mike Jakubowski, and I'm joined by Women's International Bowling Congress Hall of Famer Virginia Norton. And Virginia, we've been waiting for this ever since qualifying began last year.
Yes, we have. We've got 6 regional qualifiers, 2 team qualifiers from the WIBC tournament, and 3 international teams.
And one of those international teams will be featured today in our semifinal match. That is Team Korea.
Yes, and they're led by Mi-Young Lee, who was the bronze medalist at the 1997 World Games in Lahti, Finland.
And taking on Team Korea in our semifinal match will be Reb's Pretty Girl International.
They have a wealth of talent. They're notably led by Anne Marie Duggan, 13-time LPBT titleist and Bowler of the Year.
And waiting in the wings in the championship match is our national amateur team, Team USA.
And they're led by Kendra Cameron, who won the 1997 WIBC All Events title right here at the stadium.
It's the Brunswick World Team Challenge Grand Championships Women's Division action coming up next. The Women's International Bowling Congress and the American Bowling Congress, providing championship service to sanctioned leagues across the United States. Make sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies. By Contour Power Grips, the pioneers of the finger grip industry. More pros choose Contour Power Grips. You should too. By Lynn Shoes. For the performance approach, it's American-made Lynn Shoes, the choice of top professionals and amateurs alike. And Brunswick. Bowling is sold on Brunswick worldwide. And welcome back to the National Bowling Stadium here in Reno. Fabulous 78-lane bowling facility, and we are ready to shoe it up. Reb's Pretty Girl International will lead off on lane 25 against Team Korea.
Yes, and leading off for Rebs is Laurie Soto. Laurie from Canyon Country, California.
Team bowling in the Baker system. This is 2 games, total pins in the match. And Soto cuts up and a split early.
Looked like she took a little bit of extra time, probably a little bit of nerves, but it looked, she came around the ball, never gave it a chance to go right. Of course, this is not a real easy condition. If you go too far right, you're going to miss the head pin.
That's part of the team challenge, is that they put out a very competitive tournament shot.
Picking up another ball to go straighter. Gets 9 out, but not exactly the way they want to start this competition.
And now our first look at Team Korea.
Yeojin Kim. And this is, for most of these ladies, the first time they've ever been on television. Little bit of nerves. They've got 2 of their Korean coaches down there trying to calm them down and keep them focused. Through the nose, leaves the 3-6. This team has shot spares very, very well. On a tough condition like this, spares are a premium, and they tend to not be real easy to shoot.
And a look at Korea's coaching staff, and one thing you're going to see early and often with this team is a lot of enthusiasm.
Yes, and their men's team is sitting up in the stands behind them as well.
And another thing you're going to see from Team Korea is a lot of spare conversions. They do not miss a lot of spares. And now the Contour Power Grip starting lineup brought to you by the pioneers in the finger grip industry for Rebs, Pretty Girl International, Laurie Soto, Paula Vidad, Takahashi, Moriarty, and pro Anne Marie Duggan in the anchor position.
And our first look at Paula Vidad, who just recently moved from San Diego up to Ontario, California, which is originally where she was from. There we go. We talked about not wanting to trust it too far. Very tough condition when you have to play so straight and still make a decent shot. 1, 2, 4. Usually not a real tough spare, but spares in the middle of the lane and on the left have been challenging all week. Mental checklist. You see her talking to herself.
And a pair of opens for Reb's Pretty Girl, 18 through the second.
And that's not at all typical of Anne Marie. Paula. She is usually a very good spare shooter. Hoping her team can pick her up.
Perhaps some opening nerves. And our first look at Suk-Young Kim. Bowling in the 2-7 position. She'll be bowling the 2nd and 7th frames in this game for Team Korea.
She playing in a little bit deeper on the lane. Got the crossover, almost got the strike, but left very simple spare.
And the Contour Power Grip starting lineup for Team Korea. It's Yoo-Jin Kim, Suk-Young Kim, Kyung-Eb Moon, Hee-Soon Kim, and Mi-Young Lee. More pros use Contour Power Grips. You should too.
Going for the 6-pin. Cross lane, no problem.
I had a lot of people betting I wasn't going to get through that lineup. 2 spares for the Korean national team. And now moving to the 3rd frame, it's Lauren Takahashi.
And their team already in arrears by 21 pins. Concentration, kept her head nice and still. Good shot. A little bit light. I thought the ball might finish a little better than that, but not yet, at least. Here we're going to watch the pin action. The head pin comes off the wall, knocks the 4 into the 5, but nobody touches the 7 pin. And again, a tricky spare on the left-hand side of the lane. Usually people don't feel left side spares for right-handers are tricky, but they have been here.
Oh my, and 3 opens for Reb's Pretty Girl.
I spoke with Anne Marie Duggan's husband as we watched the ball cook early into the gutter. He said they had to have missed 800 pins and spares during the competition this week. And that for this type of a format, that's way too many.
Kyung-Eb Moon, 3rd frame. Cutting up high and a 4-6 split.
She never trusted it either. The ball looked like maybe it hung on her thumb just a little. And of course that can be nerves from being on television for the first time. This will be more than likely their first open frame, and it may be the type of life that Reb's Pretty Girl needs at this point. Going for the 4-pin.
And picking up one. 19-pin lead for Team Korea. Virginia, the format is a little bit different from a normal Brunswick World Team Challenge qualifier.
Right, as we watched Laura Moriarty with her first shot, they bowled 6 games of regular competition qualifying, meaning everybody bowled their own game. At that point, they added on, she went through the nose and left just the 6-10. They added on 22 2-game matches of the Baker format, and that was all done in one day. These people put in a lot of time on the lanes yesterday.
And that's roughly about 2 times the Baker competition that's in a normal World Team Challenge.
Exactly. As she picked up a spare ball that goes straighter.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. And 4 opens.
Well, for them not to have a mark in 4 frames is incredible with the type of competitiveness on that team, and I'm sure they're kind of in shock. But in addition to that, at that point, after the 22 2-game matches and the 6 games of qualifying, then they cut to the top 6 teams and they bowled 6 more games of Baker system. or 6 more matches at Baker System.
And our first strike as Korea's off the bench as Hee-Soon Kim knocks them all down. And you can see that Team Korea, the excitement and the enthusiasm on that bench.
And that's the way it's been all week. Here we go a little bit light. Not real light, but she gets a better break than Lauren Takahashi, and she carries out the 7-pin.
All right, here's the veteran, Anne Marie Duggan, looking to get Reb's Pretty Girl International on the board.
And she's wide. Oh.
Catches a break.
And from watching her, she's saying, well, at least I've got a chance here.
And some statistics in regular team qualifying. Reb's Pretty Girl had the high game for the week at 10.73.
And that was, again, all of these were during the qualifying.
And Yoo-Jin Kim in individual games with 2.78. And in the individual series at 6.85. Sue Navoyski and Sue Jeziorski also with some high games. And Anne Marie Duggan, 2:15.1, led all qualifying.
Hey, a spare.
Rebs is on the board. First spare. But this is 2 games in the Baker system, and we've seen some leads turn around in a hurry.
We've seen some on television. We've seen some this week. We've seen people or teams that shot 130 the first game and ended up shooting 200 and winning the match. So by no means can you count them out at this point.
Anchor bowler Mi Young Lee for Korea, looking for their first double. Oh, and a 6 around the 10.
And there you can see the type of approach and very solid style that got her that bronze medal at the World Games. Great shot, left the 10-pin.
And a look at qualifying averages. Reb's Pretty Girl in the regular at 197.7, but approximately 75% of that pinfall was in the Baker match play. So we take a look at these match play records.
And then we watch the spare shot at the 10-pin. I think she wasn't real sure of it either.
Back with more of our semifinal match when we return to the national. For Reb's Pretty Girl, and Yoo-Jin Kim struck right back for Korea. 30 pins the lead, first of 2 games in the Baker system, although Reb's Pretty Girl, Paula Vidad, with a strike, can double and cut that lead to 20.
She looked like she almost hitched at the foul line, but it was good enough to get a double, and that's exactly what they need. Of course, today is Paula's birthday. Great shot. Deep inside, a little bit high in the pocket, trips the 4-pin.
And she blew out all the candles there.
And finally, her team has something to cheer about after that horrendous beginning. Strike here, they go back in the lead by 30 pins.
Sook Young Kim on the crossover, returning that lead to 30 in the 7th frame for Korea, and both teams up off the bench.
It was almost like that little break they just had as we watched the ball cross over solid Brooklyn was just enough to get them going, maybe get them loosened up a little bit.
And here's the money we're playing for, $11,000 for first place on the line. And another split.
And Lauren Takahashi just struggling a little bit here. She was light on the first shot on that lane, made an adjustment. Now the ball goes through the nose. And this is the type of demanding condition that we're playing on here. You've got to make great shots, and you've got to try and line up as quickly as you can.
Second time they've stared at the 4-6-7.
I'll bet she wished she'd made that shot when she missed the 7-pin. 45-pin lead now for Korea.
Kyung Eb-moon on a double. 8th frame, first game.
Taking her time. Kind of a methodical player, but for a lot of bowlers, that would be an advantage instead of rushing the foul line.
On the cross, not carrying the 5-10.
And a definite chance to really open up that lead even more, and now she is almost going to maybe let Reb's Pretty Girl back in. If she doesn't make this spare, they breathe life into this first game again. Of course, she wants to hit the left side of the 5-pin and send it into the 10. maybe. Not quite enough. So that cuts the lead down to 31 pins.
Going into the 9th frame after this game, we'll turn it around. 2-game match. The winner going on to face Team USA for the World Team Challenge Grand Championship.
Laura Moriarty may have moved a little bit deeper. Same result, though. Through the nose, breaking down the split, leaving the 6-10.
That's the same spare she left back in the 4th frame, chopping.
Chopping the 6 off the 10. Of course, none of them got off to a real swell start.
That can't happen again.
So at least they've marked in the 9th frame. Now Korea wanting to get that hammer frame, that strike in the 9th to give their anchor bowler a chance to finish it up. Of course, she struck on her first offering on this lane.
And there's a lady that's very instrumental in the Women's International Bowling Congress, bringing women's division action to the Brunswick World Team Challenge, Elaine Hagan. Certainly appreciate all of her efforts.
And she works very, very hard. See the ball sailing by the head pin, 1-2-8. And like I said, spares have been a problem, but this Korean team seems to have been able to line up and make spares better than any of the other teams that were in competition. The 1-2-8, she wants to go left of the head pin, cover the 1-2, and have the ball cover the 8 as well.
Nicely done. Spare for Hee-Soon Kim here in the 9th frame. And Anne Marie Duggan up in the 10th.
And if you recall her first shot, she got way wide into what we call the out of bounds, which is where all the oil is out there, and the ball wouldn't come back. She was inside this time.
Moved a little deeper and they all fall down.
I'm not sure she moved deeper. I think she may have just missed her mark the first time, and when you miss it to the right out here, it's not going to come back. In later games, if there were to be a lot of competition on these lanes, they might have opened up a little bit, but at this point, you've got to keep it nice and tight and be real firm with your speed. Good firm speed, very good rotation. High, but it carries. 410 were the last to go. She needs this double to get back to maybe within 20 pins.
There's the eye in the sky and a double for Duggan.
Great shot. That's the kind of anchor bowler you want to have on your team. Here you see the ball a little bit further out, but not out into the out of bounds. Great pin action off the wall.
Just shred that rack. Anne Marie can take it off the sheet here for 161. Not a great score, but certainly all right after the first 4 opens.
Good shot.
And a 160 opening game for Rebs Pretty Girl International.
Now we get a chance to see Korea's anchor bowler, Mi Young Lee, and we know that she is very, very good under pressure. We've seen it throughout the rest of the competition this week. Good concentration. She seems to be very comfortable and confident on television. Good shot.
And mixing, but not carrying the 7.
Very, very good shot. When you rip the rack, you're supposed to carry the 7. That one didn't happen.
Rebs Pretty Girl breathing a sigh of relief. They're only going to be down 20 and a couple of pins after this.
Yeah, and the way they got started, that's a real bonus. They're looking at turning this thing around in a big way, but they're going to have to contend with the way Korea bowls, and they bowl very well. Excellent spare shot. Picked up a ball that didn't hook and played it to not hook.
And with a clean fill, Mi Young Lee can strike and take it to 181 for Korea here in the first of 2 games in the Baker system. The winner to go on to face Team USA to decide the women's division match play world team champions.
Another good shot.
And another ringing tan, 180-160. We'll be back with game 2 from the National Bowling Stadium right after this. Along with Virginia Norton. Game 1, Team Korea 180-160. In Virginia, the difference was spare shooting.
It sure was. Team Korea only missed 2 spares, which is still too many, but one of those was a split. Actually, both of them were splits. On the other side of that, Rep's Pretty Girl missed some easy spares.
Jin Kim with a 6 around the 10.
And this is exactly the shot that we did not get to see in the first game, but she carried that one. Great shot, solid 10. I expect her to pick it up.
It's a different language, but it's the same body language.
It sure is. Watch those eyes. They never move off her target. And you know,
on the 10 pin.
I think part of it also has become such a strike game, the sport of bowling, that people sometimes kind of take spares for granted. This competition, you cannot do that. And on this lane condition, it's even tougher.
Here's Laurie Soto with a strike and a open in that first game.
Brooklyn, and a great break for them. Very unusual pin action to watch the 5 fall like that, but we're going to get another chance to see it here. Brooklyn, and the 5 actually falls forward.
Got a little help from the 8 or 9 in the back row. Sometimes a good break's the best way to get going.
Well, and get your team loosened up. It'll certainly loosen her up. Suk-Young Kim, her first 2 shots, she had, or frames, she had a spare and a strike, which made their only double. Little light. Can't coax it over. Should be a relatively makeable spare, but again, the center of the lane sometimes is very, very funny. Great camera angle here. Can't coax that 2-pin over.
One of the great things about Team Korea is anywhere you were in the building, you could tell when something was going on.
And you know what? That's part of team bowling. If you get down, you all of a sudden let your team get down, and you're done. They never got down. Their enthusiasm was there all week.
All right, after that rough start by Reb's Pretty Girl International, we're now in the second frame of game 2. Down 19 pins, strike up, can cut it to within a mark.
That's right. 9 pins if we can get the birthday girl, Paula Vidad, to get a strike. Hung up on that one.
Back-to-back cross.
Very, very unusual, because that was almost an identical hit to Laurie Soto's. We're still going to watch the 5-pin go out of the picture to the left, and well, I guess that one didn't go forward, but you see her rooting it down.
Oh, look at that. Get out of the way of that right hook. Third frame, Hyung Ev Moon, lead down to 9 pins.
Lots of concentration on her face. Better shot.
Oh, primo hit, strike.
Beautiful.
For Moon.
I don't know if she just loosened up or if she's better lined up on this lane. But she didn't, she opened both of her frames on the first game. She had splits.
Takahashi looking for the gobbler.
And she also had 2 opens, so she'd really like to have. Well, at least she didn't get a split. Makeable spare, and when she shot her last split, she made the 4-7. So maybe she learned something there. Lauren using her strike ball to shoot these left side spares, and sometimes that depends on the person, but sometimes it's going to hook in the middle of the lane on this condition. Good shot.
That time.
Good shot.
We'll be back. Thank you. Be back with more of the semifinal match from the Brunswick World Team. Hee-Soon Kim missing a single pin, and Moriarty coming back with a strike, and all of a sudden, Reb's Pretty Girl in the lead.
And watch the pin action here. A little bit high, leaves the 4-pin, and a pin comes all the way across the pin deck to knock it over.
See how Korea reacts. First time down in this Baker match. 5th frame.
Good shot. She has absolutely crushed the pocket.
And there is the Korean men's team who participated in the Open Division Grand Championships, cheering on their compadres.
Great shot here. Good rotation. Nice firm speed. Flush. And her reaction?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anne Marie Duggan double can increase the lead to 11. But high.
You know, it almost looked like she got around it a little and it softened the speed. And here, if you get soft with the speed, the ball's going to go left. This time it cost her big time. 4-6 split. They were finally in the lead. Now they're going to be behind again. So Anne Marie now, knowing we've got 5 frames, hold me up, team. I'll do better in the 10th.
And Korea right back in front, 11 pins.
Can make it 21 if they can double here.
And now Yoo-Jin Kim here in the 6th. Strike up.
Good shot. She left a solid 10 on the first time on this lane. Solid pocket strike.
And 2 sets of high fives going on. One in the lanes and one in the stands for Team Korea, plus 21.
And now the pressure really builds. Laurie Soto knows we've got 5 frames to go. She's gotten some strikes for their team. Needs to get one right here and get them going. Well, she went Brooklyn and struck on her first shot. Tried to make an adjustment, and the ball still didn't get over to the pocket side. She's got the 3-pin. It'd be easy to say this should be a routine spare, but I'm not sure it is.
There's no such thing as a routine spare with this kind of pressure, this kind of lane condition.
And that's part of it. You've got a demanding lane condition and pressure, which already tends to make you want to squeeze the ball.
That's why so many teams across the country participate in the Brunswick World Team Challenge. And we'll be back with the conclusion of this semifinal match right after this. On the spare, 19-pin lead for Team Korea, 7th frame for Reb's Pretty Girl.
Paula Vidad trying to get it going. A little bit high. Great pin action. And if she doesn't knock somebody down, they'll get their turn to bowl also.
A lot of emotion out there. This is great, exciting bowling action. You kind of wish you were out there yourself.
You're right. It's a lot of fun. I've bowled in the qualifiers to get here, and you have a great time. You have to rely on your teammates, and of course you feel the pressure of 4 other bowlers and not just yourself.
Kyung Em Moon, 8th frame.
Good. Oh.
Ooh, and a washout. It's going to tighten things up.
I thought that was a pretty good shot. The ball skidded past the head pin. I think she was even surprised. Went right through what we would call the break point when the ball should have hooked. Getting a little advice from her coach. This is a big spare. Look at the concern on his face. Ooh, same side. Well, at least she got count.
Rebs is down 4, can take the lead with a strike. And Lauren Takahashi is going to have that chance.
And Lauren Takahashi at least is marking this game. First game she struggled horribly. Needs a strike right here. 8th frame. Brooklyn. And it worked. Most of their strikes this game have been Brooklyn, and if you go down and ask them, they don't care.
All right, it's going to come down to the 9th and 10th frames. We are within a mark. 6-pin lead for Reb's Pretty Girl International. Hee-Soon Kim towing the line in the 9th.
Now she opened in the 4th frame. She missed a 2-pin. A little wide. Looks to me like maybe there's a little bit of oil carrying down. The ball isn't turning over on the back end quite as much as it was the first game. And they're playing a little more on the edge of the out of bounds anyway. Needs to make this 1-2-4. Certainly not a gimme on this condition. Good concentration.
And on the outside, Ki-Soon Kim on the spare.
But you don't see, you're starting to see them not be as enthusiastic, and you can't let your team get down. I don't care if you're all the way to the 9th frame of the second game. You can't let it happen. Laura Moriarty up, hoping to catch another strike so that they can have a turkey. She struck her first shot on this lane.
Up tight and a baby.
Not what she was wanting to do. Baby split. And here you see Mi-Young Lee thinking about what she needs to do in the 10th frame. Her coach is talking to her, giving her exact pin count and so forth. Of course, she's bowled this sport long enough. She knows what the situation is. Deep concentration there. Good shot.
Oh, sweet spare for Moriarty.
What a great shot under this kind of pressure. 9th frame, they didn't want to give it back. She couldn't have made this any better. Fits the ball between the 310. Perfect.
4-pin lead. It's going to come down to the anchor players, Mi-Young Lee, as bowling was an Olympic demonstration sport in Seoul, Korea back in 1988.
Yes, and Mi-Young Lee has yet to make a bad shot. So she's got to know where she's playing on the lane at least and be pretty comfortable.
No, got the fall.
What a great break. We saw the 2-pin kind of lean earlier and not go, but what a great break that is. Another little idea from the coach.
And that enthusiasm is back, and it's amazing to me. This is the first time this Team Korea, this particular Team Korea, has ever participated in the Baker system format.
That's right, and it has to show how well they are trained in the team format, because a lot of the touring players that have done this says it gets different thinking about 4 other bowlers.
Oh, and 6 around the 10 with a chance to take the lead.
And she feels bad, but she can't feel bad about the shot she made. She made a terrific shot. The Baker system is a whole different philosophy. You watch her shot, it couldn't have been any better. 6-pin flies around the 10. With the spare, they'll shoot 180. So back-to-back 180s for Team Korea.
180, 180, 360, 2-game Baker total.
And all they can do at this point is sit and watch Anne Marie Duggan, who is probably one of the best women bowlers in the world at this point, get up in the 10th frame, only needing a mark and count.
Oh, and kicked a couple of tough ones out of there.
Well, she has to be happy about the pin count, too. Instead of leaving the 6, 9, 10, she's simply shooting the 6-pin. She needs 8 spare to win. Good shot on the spare.
And a great reaction from Anne Marie.
Well, she needs 8 pins here. That's how big it was to knock out the extra pins on that first ball. Otherwise, she'd be getting up at this point needing a strike.
8 to win, 7 to tie. 6 is no go. Oh my! Oh my! 6 is a no-go. Team Korea 360 to 359. And we'll go on to face Team USA.
She feels terrible, but you know, she didn't make that bad a shot. I think what's happening is the oil is starting to carry down the lane, and the ball just never turned over on the back end.
Maybe they went to the well once too often.
Here we get another chance to see it. The ball wants to start hooking, waits a little too long. She could have gotten better pin action, but there it is.
It's Team Korea versus Team USA for the Brunswick World Team Challenge Women's Division Grand Championship. Grand opening ceremony featuring the entrance of the 41 qualifying teams. The opening night crowd was treated to a selection of song and dance from the hit musical Smokey Joe's Cafe, courtesy of the El Dorado Hotel and Casino. And taking a look at the other finishers in our women's division field, Hoinke Classic from Cincinnati, Ohio, finishing 4th.
Yes, and Jennifer Claycamp, Herb Hoinke's daughter, on that team, as well as Nancy Fair in 5th Division, Kinko Limited from Jacksonville, Florida. And of course on that team, Dee Dee Davidson.
Team Convo out of Buffalo, New York, finishing 6th. This is the first time they've ever bowled together. And incidentally, they were the last out of the welcome banquet the opening night.
And then Nippon Brunswick finished 7th. They're the team out of Japan, one of the other international teams.
Team Brunswick, Marcy Williams making her first appearance here in the Brunswick World Team Challenge Grand Championships. They finish 8th, picking up $2,200.
Bowler's Edge out of Glendale, Arizona finished 9th for $1,700.
Contour Power Grips featuring Leslie and Chrissy Beamish finishing 10th. Marlis Tapp also on that team.
Team China finished 11th. They were our final team.
Out of the international field, Tom Tamaris joining them from Brunswick. And part of the special activities, the El Dorado Hotel and Casino sponsored the Bowlers opening night welcome banquet. An Italian feast highlighted by good food and good wine gave people the opportunity to greet old friends and to meet new ones. And back with our championship match here from the National Bowling Stadium as Team USA is warming up and ready to face Team Korea. We'll be right back. Silver Legacy Casino, proud host of these 1997 Grand Championships. Team Korea in a stunning 360-359 win over Rebs Pretty Girl International. Now we'll take on Team USA.
And I'm sure that there was no way they could see themselves winning that match. They might have had a feeling that maybe they would have the roll-off. They might have had a tie, but not the 6-pin count.
This Team Korea has given Team USA all it can handle.
They have actually beat them 2 out of 3 of the Baker system matches.
Oh, and flush for Yojin Kim here in the first.
Great shot, and that's exactly what she did in the last match. She's all lined up on this left-hand lane.
And now the U.S. National Amateur Team. Leadoff player Lisa Moose.
And Lisa was on the 1995 Pan American team when they won the gold and the silver. Good shot. Ball looks like it's hooking at different times on this right-hand lane. And I think maybe one of the advantages that the Korean team has is the fact that they go a little straighter with the ball. Team USA as well as Rebs Pretty Girl International both hook the ball a little bit more, and that may be to Korea's advantage. 3-6-10, not an easy spare.
And a chop early, 8 out in the first for Team USA.
Boy, this is exactly what we saw in the first game. Team Korea now, Suk Young Kim wanting to get a double and get them off to a real quick lead. 22 pins if they can double right here.
3 spares and a strike in that semifinal match. Second frame, chance of double.
A little wide. Washout, and that's what we saw at the end of that last match, was the ball was skidding out a little bit too much.
And one of the sponsors of Contour Team USA is Contour President Don Heibigner, president of Pro Sports Systems. Sponsors quite a number of teams in the Team Challenge, has been involved with this tournament. 3 or 4 of those teams were in the Open Division and well as the Women Division Grand Championships.
At the washout, can't get the ball to hook far enough past on the head pin. So an open frame right here, Team Korea, that actually puts them even at this point in the match. Lisa Dino First chance. Not taking a lot of time. Ooh, the ball hung up badly.
Oof.
Kind of a little embarrassed smile on her face. Looked like the ball really hung up on her thumb. You see, late, and then the ball goes around, her hand goes around it because the thumb comes out so late. Lisa, not taking a lot of time, but that's part of her style.
And wide right, 8 out, 16 through 2, and the same rough start as Team USA, as Pretty Girl had back in the semifinal.
Well, and we've said in the past on this condition, spares are important. In the first match, Team Korea made 10 of 11 makeable spares. That doesn't include, you know, washouts and splits and so forth. But 10 of 11 on this condition is very impressive.
Here's Kyung Eb Moon, third frame.
Through the nose, 3-6. She says, okay, take it easy, try and make the spare. And again, we just saw Lisa Moose chop this, not an easy spare. You're going across the middle of the lane, the ball may hook. You give it too much room, the ball may skid. She's using a harder surface ball. It's definitely going to go straighter.
Moon looking for her first spare on the day with a strike and 3 opens. And there it is.
Well, and you can hear the men's team being a lot more enthusiastic. The women's team was really enthusiastic in the first match, but they need to get that enthusiasm back. Lucy Giovinco now. And Lucy just got married, so it's actually Lucy Giovinco-Sandelin. Lucy hurt her foot very badly on Monday and wasn't sure she was going to be able to compete the rest of the week.
More team bowling from the National Bowling Stadium is coming up next. Your system to decide the World Match Play Team Champions. Here's Hee-Soon Kim.
Crossing over. But we've seen a lot of crossover strikes today, and they've worked just fine. We saw a double by Reb's Pretty Girl International. It really put them back in the first match.
And a lot of noise from upstairs as we get a look at the Contour Power Grips starting lineup for Team USA. Lisa Moose, Lisa Dino, Giovinco-Sandelin, Kendra Cameron, and Lynda Norry in the anchor.
And Kendra Cameron now up 4th on her team. Perfect shot. Last minute change of lineup for them. Kendra moved out of the anchor spot up to 4th, and Lynda Norry moved down to 5th.
Team USA runner-up in last year's Brunswick World Team Challenge Grand Championships.
And I'm sure they want to avenge that loss. Mi Young Lee, excuse me. Ooh, a little bit wide. 2-7. Again, not an easy spare, but she has been deadly on spares. She's been one of the best anchor bowlers we've seen this tournament. The ball got out a little wide and broke back too late, but it could have been worse.
And a left-handed baby for the right-hander.
Hard surface ball. I think she's had a lot of television experience. She looks very relaxed. That hard surface ball that you don't want to have hooked didn't hook enough that time.
And now Team USA, after a pair of opens, have responded with a double, and Lynda Norry will bowl the 5th and 10th frames. 10-pin lead, a chance to extend that lead to 20 here in the 5th.
Well, and I think maybe the last minute change in the lineup was experience-wise. Lynda Norry a 7-time. Great shot. Lynda Norry's been on Team USA 7 times. That experience says a lot on television in a format like this. This ball a little bit light. She gets great pin action off the wall. Watch the head pin go to the sideboard. 4 into the 5, and the head pin takes the 7.
20-pin lead for Team USA on a turkey after that pair of opening opens.
A little bit of a pull. lucky to get out of it like that. 4-7, and again, she doesn't hook the ball a lot, so this should be a relatively easy spare for her. Cross lane, harder surface ball.
Yu-Jin Kim has yet to miss, filling all the frames to this point.
Watch your eyes, good concentration. Perfect.
Boy, and that's what you want out of a leadoff player in this format.
You bet. You have to have that kind of consistency. Plus the fact that she may be able to help the others on the team line up.
And we'll be back with more of our championship match from the and spare for Team USA as they maintain a 17-pin lead. We're in the first of 2 games in the Baker system to decide the World Team Challenge Grand Championship.
And Kyung In-moon up her second chance. What a great shot. She just ripped the rack on that shot. It's interesting to me, every time that we've come out of commercial, these teams have bowled better. But in the past, in singles competition, a lot of times you see people come out of commercial and they're a little stiff or a little bit more tense. They don't make good shots.
Roger Dalkin, newly appointed ABC American Bowling Congress Executive Director. Giovinco-Sandelin. Flush!
What a great shot. And on a bad foot, she said to me, I can make it through 4 frames. Well, maybe for her, it's just going to be 4 shots.
That's a bowler with a lot of experience in world and international competition.
And it's showing right now. I think she probably was the inspiration to turn things around after those 2 open frames in the first 2 frames. Hung up on her hand a little, and again the ball goes left. Fairly easy spare, 6-pin. And these bowlers from Korea just don't miss spares. The opens they've had have been 90% of them have been splits or washouts or something of that nature.
We've got a little bit of a cheering competition going on upstairs between Team USA gentlemen's team and the Team Korea gentlemen's team.
And they're not sitting too far apart either. Perfect.
The spirit of great competition here at the Brunswick World Team Challenge.
And yet not just good competition, also good sportsmanship. You see a lot of that also.
There's the Koreans and Team USA Men's Club yelling Lucy, Lucy earlier.
Now Kendra trying to get a double and extend the lead.
And a lot of the other competitors that have participated in this event are upstairs cheering both these teams on because they know how tough the format has been.
Well, and they had a chance. Oh, that ball never flipped over and made it back to the pocket. They had a chance to not only bowl with them, but to meet them. And a lot of times you don't get a chance to meet these teams, especially Team USA and certainly Team Korea. The 2-4-8-10. Not impossible, but not easy at all. Right idea.
And an open spare is going to tighten things up considerably here in game 1 of our 2-game Baker match.
Now down to just a 3-pin deficit as their anchor bowler, Mi-Young Lee, gets up in the 10th frame.
And nothing but strikes and 9s to this point for Mi-Young Lee.
And the 9s that she has left have all been solid pocket hits.
That's what you need out of the anchor position.
A little bit of a hop at the foul line made her pull the ball. I don't know if it looked like maybe she was a little out of time. You hop like that, you leave the 3-10. Not an easy spare, looking for her spare ball. Gonna go cross lane, try and fit it in between. And you see the white tape? What that is it's just thumb protection. I'll bet she never bowls without it. Isn't gonna make that.
Finishing up with 160 in game 1, Team Korea.
Well, and that's kind of unusual because she's got enough competitive experience that was surprising. Team USA gave them an opportunity to get back in the match, and she did not take advantage of it. Here, Lynda Norry pulls the ball herself. Almost the identical leave. Only the 3-pin.
Make that 161 for Team Korea. spare strike would be 177 for Team USA. We'll switch lanes, play game 2. Total pins will determine our winner.
And the lanes are changing a little bit as well. Team Korea has been out there here for both matches, but the lanes are in transition at this point. The oil's tearing down. They still are having a little bit of a problem out here getting to the pocket. No problem on the spare, picks up the 3-pin. With a strike here, Team USA will take a 16-pin lead into the second and final match of the Grand Championships.
Norrie coming up high and 7 out. 174, 161. We'll be back with game 2 of this championship match from the National Bowling Stadium.
There are certain things in life that just don't change because they're always there and they'll never be different. And there's certain people you can always depend on.
Stadium, 1 game left to decide the women's division world team match play champions. Team USA pulling out a 174-161 win after a pair of opens early. Now Lisa Moose in game 2.
And she was part of that team that finished second in the Grand Championships. What a great shot that was. She was really firm with her speed on that shot. Didn't take any chances. Nice follow through. Perfect. And that's a much stronger start than the first game when they started with a pair of opens.
And Team Korea against Team USA in the Baker match play. They won the first 2 and then lost the third.
Yo-Jin Kim.
Matches. Moose with a strike of her own.
Almost that late 8-pin, but it was coaxed down maybe by her teammates and the men from Korea as well.
And I think we might have converted some more fans across the world into Baker team match play competition.
That's right. Lisa Dino. Must have taken some tape out during that break because that ball came off her hand much cleaner. Big smile. Ball went through the nose, but beats the heck out of missing the head pin to the left. Hard surface ball to go straight across lane at the 10-pin. She wasn't sure.
Just gonna knock it over.
So they maintain that 13-pin lead. But Team Korea, working on a strike, can make it only a 3-pin deficit right here. Suk-Young Kim, their 2 and 7 bowler, up on the right-hand lane. Open and a spare in the previous game in this match. Good shot.
Thunder, double for Team Korea.
And you can't ask for 2 better shots than those 2 ladies have bowled in this game. Now Lucy Giovinco, bad foot and all, has made 2 great shots. One ripped the rack, one was flush. Different lane, same concentration and experience. Almost a good result. Left the 6-pin. She said to me, all she had to do was get through 4 frames.
Giovinco-Sandelin bowls out of Norcross, Georgia. Needs this spare to maintain a 2-pin lead.
Good shot. No problem at all.
Kyung Eun here in the third with a chance to take the lead for Team Korea in the 3rd frame.
That's if she can strike here and have them open with a turkey in this 2nd game.
Struggled with a couple of opens early. Struck solid on her last ball.
The coach taking care of watching exactly where she's lining up. He's doing a lot of coaching during these matches. We've seen him talking to people. We saw him talk to me,
Great shot.
Great
6
shot.
around the 10.
And we saw the other coach stand up and turn around just as she left that 10-pin. Big match He seems to be also trying to keep them calm.
As has been a part of the Brunswick World Team Challenge all season, the high score bonus is brought to you by the High Roller Tournament Series. And if either team should be able to shoot a Baker game of 240 or better, or a series of 450 or better, you earn $500 each time one of those occurs. Courtesy of our friends at the High Roller Tournament Series.
At the 10 pin. Perfect. Ball was halfway down the lane, and the men's team up here already knew what the outcome would be.
Why, we got a great match here. 3-pin match. Everybody's fired up.
Kendra Cameron, who has to feel really good on these lanes. She won the WIBC All Events title here this year and has to feel very confident here at the stadium. Good shot.
Sweet swing and 10 in the pit for Kendra.
Really strong, and there's where the firmness came in. Nice firm speed, nice firm release. And Hee-Soon Kim up here in the 4th frame, down by 3 pins. She needs to answer that strike so that they don't get further behind should Team USA double in the 4th and 5th. A little wide, left the 2-4. If you recall, she is the one that missed the 2-pin earlier in this match. I'm sure she's thinking about that and about how she wants to shoot this spare, because she did miss it on the right. The ball skated by. A little extra time, making sure the thumb hole feels good. Did it again. And that's where that out of bounds, if you don't get the ball into the dry section, it's going to skate.
Now a 17-pin lead for Team USA and a chance to jump on it. And if I'd want to hand anybody the ball in this situation, it's going to be Lynda Norry.
Well, she's had a great deal of experience. She was the 1995 National Amateur Champion. She knows how to throw strikes.
And can't get the 10 over. Nice shot, however.
That's right. All you can do is get the ball to the pocket and hope the right thing happens. Very, very good shot. Left the 10, but if she can pick it up, they're still in the lead by 17 pins. Good shot. Well, Mi Young Lee, who looked very, very good in the opening match, struggled a little in the first game. She had 2 open frames, and that's not exactly what you want to see with your anchor bowler. I think she was getting a little bit of coaching from their staff. Looks like maybe she changed the ball. She moved deeper, that's for sure.
Wide left. Lucky to get 7.
Well, that ball, she never gave it room. She moved deeper, she changed balls, but never gave it room, and the ball got to the middle of the lane where it's the driest and just took off. Now, this, not an easy spare either. You've got the 1-3-5. You still have a problem hitting the pocket. What do you do now? She's going back to the original ball, but a little unsettled, I'm sure. Better shot. A little bit of relief.
Mi Young Lee on the spare, and we'll be back with the final 5 frames from Reno, the National Bowling Stadium here, Brunswick World Team Challenge Grand Championship.
Who struck the first time she was up on this lane. Good shot again.
Light and carrying.
And the right result.
I don't want to get in the way of those.
Nope. Good firm speed here. She didn't hit the ball real hard. Matter of fact, I think at one point she was a little afraid she hadn't hit it hard enough. But the 5 goes into the 7. The reaction from the rest of her teammates.
Solid leadoff play from Yoo-Jin Kim. All marks.
Strike.
Oh, and a smash 7.
Well, and she struck the first time in this game to give them the chance to get back in the match. Can't throw them much better than this. The ball might be a little bit high flush, but what a shot. 4-pin goes in front of the 7. No carry.
No matter how many times you throw that ball and leave that pin, it's still like a knife in the back.
Well, and especially at this point in the match, when they're down by 17 and they need to get things going. Uh-oh. Very uncharacteristic of their team. And you can kind of see the rest of their team down a little bit. You can hear the men up on top, and they're trying to get that enthusiasm back. You got 4 frames left. You're not out of the match. Down by 29.
Dino struggled early. Ball in the pocket, and a double for Team USA to extend to 29 pins.
And she has to feel wonderful after the 2 shots that she threw on lane 26 earlier.
29-pin lead is now increased to 39, and Dino with a great shot.
Well, and here you see her get out of the ball much more cleanly. Great release, great pin action, right result.
Great reaction. All right, still some frames left. Suk Young Kim, 7th frame for Team Korea.
Struck the first time on this frame, on this lane. A little bit high that time. They need to get things going. The frames are getting few, and I think they're starting to feel a lot of pressure. This 6-pin shouldn't be any problem at all.
Perfect. Suk Young Kim on the spare. We are in the 8th frame from the National Bowling Stadium. Dino with a double in the 7th and a 39-pin lead after an open by Team Korea on a single pin in the 6th. Chance to extend that lead to 49, Giovinco-Sandelin.
And she's been nothing but solid. Another good shot. Ball broke a little bit late, kind of a soft 10, but Lucy's got so much experience. She doesn't hook the ball a lot. She's going to pick up a spare ball. This should not be a problem. They've got things going their way, which obviously loosens you up and makes it a little easier to roll the ball.
Oh, no, and a break right back for Team Korea.
That's uncharacteristic of Lucy as well. I think she may have lost the ball off her hand, and it's possible that her foot also became a problem. Nevertheless, back in the match, only 26 pins behind with 3 frames to go.
Kyung Moon, 8th frame.
The rest of her team hoping against hope for a strike here. A little wide. Can't get back. Leaves the 2-4. They needed to strike. They need to get something positive going their way. They certainly need the spare, and they've been pretty good at those. Checking the score. Taking her time.
Boy, a single pin miss in the 6th and a single pin miss in the 4th are really the difference in this match.
And that's something that I don't think I saw them do the entire rest of the tournament. Of course, it was a very grueling tournament. They've spent a lot of hours bowling. Good shot of the spare.
28-pin lead for Team USA as we enter the foundation 9th.
And Kendra Cameron, a chance here to get up and strike. She struck in the 4th frame for Team USA. Great shot then, so she is lined up on this left-hand lane.
And perhaps the pressure of the situation is getting to Team Korea, not being in this position before. And boy, here's a lady that's been there.
A lot of speed, very firm. Maybe a little too firm that time. But there again, a fairly easy spare, you would say that. But we've seen some 1-pin spares missed here. Good shot. The ball just doesn't hook early enough. Goes through the break point. She trips the 2-pin forward, which makes that spare a great deal easier. Good shot at the spare.
28 pins down here in the 9th. Definitely, Hee-Soon Kim needs to strike here.
She needs to strike for them to have virtually any chance at all.
They can go off the sheet here for 201, 361 total.
Good concentration. Good shot.
And a great break, tripping the 6.
You know, that ball got a little bit high, a little bit higher than I think she even expected. But they got the break, they got the strike they needed. Now Lynda Norry knows she can close them out. And she's the one with probably as much experience as anybody. She and Lucy Giovinco have been on Team USA more than the rest.
Solid 10.
Great shot. With a spare and a strike here, they shoot 395.
More than enough.
But she needs the spare.
Otherwise, Mi Young Lee could stand up and have a chance in the 10th. Oh, my. And there's the Korean reaction. Oh, my.
She needs 4 pins here. Korean team kind of knows, unless something even weirder than what happened in the first match occurs, the match is over and they've finished second. There it is.
And solid, great finish for Norrie. We'll be back to meet Team USA, our grand championship winners, when we return to the National Bowling Stadium.
World Team Challenge is brought to you by Brunswick. Bowling is sold on Brunswick worldwide. By Contour Power Grips, the pioneers of the finger grip industry. More pros use Contour Power Grips. You should too. By Keepsake, designer and manufacturer of championship ring awards. By Bud Light, proud sponsors of bowling. Make it a Bud Light. And the Women's International Bowling Congress and the American Bowling Congress, providing championship service to sanctioned leagues across the United States. Make sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing body.
Team USA, Women's Division, grand champions here in the Brunswick World Team Challenge. And Kendra Cameron, you wanted to wish wishes to someone who couldn't be with us.
That's right. Denise Kalaola, who's our teammate this year and last year, she couldn't be with us this week. We just wanted to say hi.
And Team Korea beat you twice in the first 2 Baker matches. You got in the last 2. What happened?
We were really sick of getting whooped up on, and we just wanted to show that we wanted to win this tournament more.
And that you did. And we've got some wonderful goods for you. Joyce Deitch, president of the Women's International Bowling Congress, has the Darryl Dobbs Memorial Trophy.
And I'm so pleased to be able to give this to Team USA. The Team USA program is near and dear to WIBC's heart, as was Darryl Dobbs, and I'm so pleased to give this to you.
And Glenn Carano from the Silver Legacy is here with the money.
Well, from the Silver Legacy Resort Casino here in Reno, we want to congratulate Team USA for the great competition. Very exciting. Here's $11,000. Have fun. Congratulations.
Kendra, a couple of second-place finishes in previous years here at the Grand Championships. What's it like to finally win?
It's wonderful. I guess we had a little revenge this week because we finished second the last 2 years, and we wanted to come out and really win this tournament, and we did.
Okay, and tell me about the rest of the teammates and how these folks were able to help you out. I know Lynda.
Lynda took a last-minute substitute because I wasn't feeling too comfortable, and she pulled through great. The rest of the team just worked real hard.
Okay, Team USA, your women's division grand champions. The next Brunswick World Team Challenge telecast is the Open Division Grand Championship event from the National Bowling Stadium. Check your regional sports network listings for dates and times. For Virginia Norton, this is Mike Jakubowski. So long from Reno, Nevada. This has been an ABC Eagle